This is Lamont Palmer, and today I'm going to discuss sources and its use and their use in family search. Sources are really the documents that are used to justify data that you put into family search. For example, you would need to know the birth. If you have a birth date, where did that birth date come from? Because there's a lot of different opinions. And so we're going to start here on a page, the personal page of Ninian Beale. You can see here, and then here we see there's 11 sources. Now, one thing to be aware of is this source count here is only these sources down here in the source section of the detail page. Okay, you can see there's 11 here. There's another type of source that's associated. If you come up here to the individual, you see this over here, you click on that. Now you can come down here and you'll see other sources that can be attached here. And that source would justify why do we think this person belongs to that set of parents. So that would be one place that you would put that relationship source. And you could use a source in multiple places, but that's one place. Now, the other place is on the marriage relations. So if you click here, if I click there like that, you look down here and it has relationship sources. And this one has a relationship in here, a source that justifies that marriage relation. So if I clicked on this source, for example, like this, I could go out and see the detail associated with that source, and I could actually go out to the actual source in on the internet. And so I'll just show you what that looks like. So that takes me right to the Ancestry.com where I found that source, and I attached that source from Ancestry.com to my record here in Family Search. So now, as a recap, there's a sources associated with the parent-child relationship. There's a sources associated with the relationship, the couple relationship, and then there's the sources that are easily attached to the detail record for that individual. And one of the reasons you would attach sources is because you want to justify the dates you put in. For example, here in the birth, I could click on birth. Well, where did that date come? Who said it's the right date? Here I can put in and say where the reason is, but notice down here it's tagged. It shows that here's some of the sources that helped give me birth data. Now they may have different dates on it, depends on who's attaching them, but then I can click on that source and see the individual record there for that source. So I can do it from either when I'm looking at the actual detailed record, the item here, and you can find one for the death. By looking at this, I can find the tag. Now there's none been tagged for this one. So that would be something that would be good to do, to say, where did I get that date? That's an easy way to tag it. Then you can go and look in that source very easily. But by clicking on these sections up here, you can go right to that. You notice here 11 sources, as we said before. By clicking on sources here, it takes me right to the list of sources I have. And you'll notice here that there's this little tree indicates the source is from Family Search. This down here indicates it's a source from somewhere else other than Family Search. And there's icons too for if the source is a memory from the memories. So you can see those kind of things there. That will give you an indication where to look. Now, if you're not logged into Family Search, let's say here, and maybe that was a source from Ancestry.com, you may not be able to see that data because Ancestry.com is a paid site. And so unless you have a membership there, you wouldn't be able to see the actual detail for that source. Now that's an overview of sources. Remember, there's three kinds of sources. This count source tells you only the number of sources that are associated with the detail. Down here, it does not have any indication if there's any sources associated at this level or for the relationship. The only way you'll know that is by going and looking at that relationship and seeing the sources.